Hello, Leo. Thank you so much, as always, you guys, for being here. Okay, Leo, so looking at your first week of December, you pulled seduction, grace, and atonement. So, seduction, first of all, is talking about you no longer being attracted to situations that may have manipulated you or people, right? So, this is about being able to discern more clearly between people who are healthy for you and who aren't. This is also about being able to say no to attractive advances and dealing so with grace, being mindful on the way that you're kind of like responding to this. But it's coming from a place where I think there's some acceptance to why these situations keep coming to you. It's like accepting your part in kind of like creating this. But the other issue here with atonement is that you're taking on things that also don't belong to you. And that's where grace is kind of coming through. You may have been dealing with situations with people who were manipulative and made you feel like you needed to take on something or take responsibility for something that wasn't yours to take. So atonement says accepting the full burden of responsibility, the fair as well as the unfair, with no discount. Sorry, guys. So meaning that, you're not looking at how another person may have been responsible. It's like you needing to have the grace to say, no, I'm not taking responsibility for this anymore. Right? This situation is not all my fault. Now, that's only going to be for some of you. For others of you, right, like you're not interested in a situation that looks attractive. And that is because, there's this grace and understanding of what you are responsible for attracting. It's like, yeah, I used to, be attracted to people like this or situations like this, but now I understand my part in it. But if you're talking about a situation where things didn't go, in the right direction here, it's you not taking responsibility for all of it. You're overall the moon. Okay. So, immediately with the moon, things are not what they appear to be. And that is either because of the projection of your own fears onto something, or, this like illusionment that's kind of happening from outside of you, from, within the people and the situations that you're currently dealing with. But we're talking about confusion here. Things are not what they appear to be. And you may be trying to find some kind of clarity through a confusing situation. Yeah. So the other luminary, the sun in the past. So this could be about you really needing to take back your energy, if that makes sense. You may have been focusing on a situation that has left you confused emotionally for some time, and it may have been draining you. And with the sun now, we're talking about getting some kind of clarity, but also this is new energy, right? And it's also joy. So, no matter what is going on, right, with the sun, everything's going to be fine. Everything's okay. Like, I always feel like that when the sun comes through. It's such a positive card. But I think for you, with the moon being the overall here, not only clarity, but we're talking about you getting your energy back. Oh my God, what is with the majors, man? So, judgment in the present moment. This is the wake-up call. This is the review, going back and reviewing the past in a way where we're done with it now. You're rising above it, right? It's transcendence, but it comes through a wake-up call where a situation may be coming back to you that's going to require you to look at it differently. You may have made your own judgment call on it, but this is like, oh no, 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 no. We need to review this again. And with the Sun, it may be that there is something else that needs to be seen or understood for, the situation to kind of like go back to a clean slate almost. And I say that because, atonement speaks of that too. But this is really big. This is, something huge coming through that's making you look at a past situation way differently. But you're still dealing with things that you don't have clear answers to with the Moon. Okay, so future conditions, the Eight of Swords. What I worry about here is if there's this wake-up call happening, it's either you or somebody else is stuck in a situation or stuck in a way of thinking. And it's because of that there's this kind of like confusion as to what's going on. And it's interesting how you can have this like wake-up call and this like new energy kind of coming through to a situation that you've already dealt with or that you're still confused about. But it's leading into this place of like no movement forward or not seeing a path forward. So it's like getting a clear understanding, and there's like this revival happening with the Sun, but for some reason in future conditions, it's not clear how to move forward. Your best path to follow the Empress, is she in this position to me it's an immediate indicator that whatever you're nurturing, you are going to grow into abundance, right? But this is beauty, this is comfort, and this is manifestation. So whatever it is that you are nurturing, that is for the purpose of creating this beauty, this happiness, this joy, right? Like, it's up to you to kind of create that abundance, but it's going to bring this beautiful experience into your life, I feel like. But you just don't see how that's possible. And this isn't minor, this is huge. So this is a really big thing that I think that, in a way we're talking about bringing it back to life. But with the Sun here, there's new clarity and understanding that may be revitalizing this. But, I'm still looking at this wake-up call and then not being able to move forward with it, right? But there's the potential for this, like, huge abundance. The Nine of Pentacles in your environment with judgment, in this may be you needing to let go of a situation where if there's no clear path forward, then maybe it's time to like remove yourself from that. With the Nine of Pentacles, I always feel, the independence, the self-reliance, not being dependent on a person or a situation. But this is also, enjoying your life, right? But not being, especially emotionally dependent on another person to, move things forward. Like, I feel like this is a situation that, obviously isn't over with. New life is being brought into it. You're seeing it very differently. With the Nine of Pentacles, though, you may be kind of like doing this on your own, because if we're talking about another person being involved, there's this stuck feeling and an inability to move forward. And I don't think that there's a whole lot of clarity on why or how to. And this is where, we're trying to clear up this kind of confusion. But you're having to do this kind of like on your own, I feel like, with the Nine of Pentacles. You're not really getting a whole lot of understanding or communication from another side. Now, for some of you, this is, in order for a past situation to finally be over with in a way where, energy is being brought back to you, It's needing to find the ability to, remove yourself from these situations that keep you stuck. But you may be choosing this though too. And this is like almost a double-edged sword, because if we're talking about what you nurture, it can like manifest in huge abundance. That could be for good or bad with the moon being there. Your hopes and your fears, the Queen of Wands. So, again, there was this feeling of another person coming through. But I'm looking at this for you and feeling like you're hoping to regain a part of you that is confident in your ability to progress the situation forward where things may not be clear. I almost feel like, because looking back at atonement and it talking about you taking on things without discount, I wonder if you're not kind of like taking on this situation as it is and kind of deciding to continue to nurture this because, there's the potential for a lot of beauty and growth. And that's where the focus needs to be. But can you continue to kind of like do things on your own where that may have been draining you before, where there isn't a whole lot of answers coming in from another person? But this is confidence, right? And feeling good about yourself. But there's this attraction to a situation where I feel like you may not be with someone right now. And you're kind of like having to navigate a situation on your own without really having any full understanding on where things are going. But there is this kind of clarity and understanding that somewhere within this, someone is stuck. And then coming out the Nine of Cups. Wow, man. So wish fulfillment. But there is this confusion that's happening. Like, how the hell are we getting to you getting that kind of fulfillment of the things that you're wanting? Justice, okay. Temperance, wow. Those with the heavy hitters. Come on now. And then the Hierophant. Oh my God. Okay. Justice. And again with the Sun. Having energy return to you in order for there to be this fairness and balance that's going on. But, are you taking on something that is just, like seducing you, right? But I don't know. There's something about this is so huge. It's so important. But justice, fair and balanced choices, right? And making amends here, correcting a situation, balancing it out where there may have been this like drain of energy, but it's coming back. And then there's this huge wake-up call, but you're kind of dealing with things on your own. You're having to be self-reliant in this because of the moon being the overall and this kind of like confusion. And you have temperance, right? Like, and this is where grace, I think, is coming in big time. In order to have your wishes fulfilled, there needs to be this fairness and balance in the choices that you're making. Especially if new energy is being brought back into a situation where there still is not any clear movement forward. But this is where the internal balance and patience and moderation is going on with temperance, right? So we're just hanging in there. And with the Hierophant, though, this is a big commitment that's being made without any kind of like definite answer, because it doesn't matter, because it's what you want. It is what you want. And if you make that kind of commitment and stick to that, again, with the Empress, the amount of the fullness of this situation to manifest is like unlimited. But this, again, it's beauty, it's abundance, right? Abundance in all ways. And this is what you want. The Hierophant, though, man, that's like making a major commitment to this. It's like the only way for things to be fair and balanced is to see this through. Even though things are not clear and not moving forward right now, it's like you see things in such a way that it's creating this kind of balance in order for you to kind of like, be independent, do things on your own until there is this like release of the situation and committing to it in such a huge way with the Hierophant, man, right? Like, this is sticking to a tradition. Sometimes it's, this conformity, but this to me is more like it's a spiritual kind of commitment that's being made here because it's what you want. And that's all that matters. And you know that the potential for the abundance is there with the Empress. Wow, man. Good God. The 6th chakra, the 3rd eye, so visualization. Oh, what the hell, Leo? What do you... It's too much, right? Like it's too much. The crown chakra, so you go from visualization to allowing divine inspiration to kind of come through and guide you through this process. Because it's what you want, right? Like, if that's all you see, that is all that's going to be reflected back to you. But it's not about longing for something. It's seeing the fulfillment of that. And it's like the universe steps in and is like, okay, this is how, here's your information. And then gratitude, and you immediately go to thank you. Things may be difficult for a little bit because of this kind of like stuck energy with the 8 of Swords and the Moon and not really having this clarity on how things are moving forward. But the potential that you have to get to what you want is huge right now. I would be working with all kinds of manifestation techniques right now, right? Anything that helps you to visualize the end goal, because that is what's going to be reflected back to you, not the feelings of, I wish I had this, I'm longing for this. It's hard because your outer world isn't currently reflecting it to you, but the brain doesn't know the difference. So the minute that you stop looking at what is and you just accept it, but you start looking at the possibility of what could be, that is when it starts to be reflected back. But it's interesting to me how there's this like feeling of needing to correct this situation. Something was not right about this. And it's evident with this inability to kind of like see things clearly and move forward. Have faith in your dreams, yeah. It's like the universe is like, it kind of reminds me of the Oracle of E and it talking about the dude being there, right? Like the dude's got your back. The dude being, the universe, right? All that is, which is what you are a part of. And it's... Sorry about that, Leo. The battery ended up dying because I'm talking too much. So the other card that you pulled was Hold Your Vision. This is such an important time for you to really be looking at what your emotional desires are, because the potential for them to manifest is huge. Although there may be this situation where it feels like the energy is stuck and it's not really clear how things are going to move forward, but I'm telling you, right, like it doesn't matter. And what I was saying before, it's like the dude's got your back. It's almost like the universe is immediately responding to anything that you are visualizing that you truly want, what your heart's true desire is, right? But so important to have faith in the things that you are wanting. And also hold that vision. Don't just visualize what that future looks like once, but do it many times. Kind of get like this repetition going. But this is an amazing reading, Leo. Whatever it is that you are truly wanting, the potential for the abundance there is unlimited